Is that already recording?
And we're back with Unforgettable Conversations. We have two very special guests today.
Tim and Danny.
Again?
Tim and Danny, and my lovely wife, Anne.
I have a question. Where did Unforgettable Conversations come from? Like, why that title?
Why Unforgettable Conversations?
Who came up with that name?
It was either me or Alex. And
What the? No, it was me.
Was it you?
It was me.
Was it you?
Seems forgettable.
I don't think so.
I'm almost certain I came up with that name. Unforgettable.
How? When?
Because we were having conversations, and I was like, you guys were thinking about names, and I was like, oh, like Unforgettable Conversations.
That sounds very
Show the
specific.
respect.
I am, okay, I'll say 80% sure it was me. But
I'm
there's still
almost-
20%.
I'm almost
chance.
like 50-50 was between me and Alex, and a combination of me
So
and
he's
Alex.
not even a percentage.
I
I don't think so.
think you should have Alex. I think he'll say, there might have been a chance.
What about James?
No.
Well, see, originally when we started the podcast, we did it at Denny's, and Alex was smart enough to actually press record on his phone. So we had a lot of people, like background people, like talking and everything, and that's when we just started going crazy. And then that's what sprung it into what it is now.
What was that first conversation about?
Super Mario,
It was Super Mario, like
and a couple
Pokemon.
other
Denny's or
Pokemon.
IHOP?
Denny's.
Denny's.
Mm,
I'll take Denny's.
The one that
think
used to be
IHOP-
at Coco's.
I think IHOP has like unlimited oranges.
Coco's is that
Pumpkin pie from Coco's?
pumpkin pie from Coco's.
Coco's?
I only went there once, and I didn't like it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Coco's? I don't know.
You guys like sparkling water?
Yeah.
carbonated.
Oh, it's got to be Topo Chico.
No, I
Perrier.
hate.
I love
As long as
hate
it's not
spark-
Pellegrino.
What's the point?
What?
Carbonated water,
Yeah.
so you
Makes you
can
burp.
burp
Why would you want to burp?
because you're
fizzy.
bloated.
Loaded.
No, you got to try a Topo Chico.
You have to be fat for this.
I feel like that makes me bloated.
it does, and then you burp it.
Why can't you just drink normal water?
Well,
That is a
for
good
us
question.
fat lards, we like a little, fizz,
Okay, I like soda,
and water's challenging.
but to me,
It has a flavor.
if I drink anything carbonated, I'm gonna burp.
Mhm.
And if
Right.
I'm gonna burp, which I don't like burping, I'm gonna
You want a flavor.
make it worth my while and drink something.
So you want to burp what you just drank, so you can get that.
You want a flavored
Yes,
burp.
not necessarily, but like I'm gonna enjoy the flavor.
You want a burp to have a flavor.
I'm not gonna.
You're like
put
those
myself-
weird people that want to throw up so they can taste back what they ate.
I'm not gonna make myself burp just for plain water. Like no, it's gonna be Dr Pepper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's
so it's all about the effort
Yeah.
for you.
Pros and cons.
I bet you like root beer.
Yeah.
He does.
Oh.
No,
You used to like root beer?
no.
No?
I hated
Just
when the
Dr. Pepper.
schools did the root beer floats. I
Those
hated
are
root
good.
beer. Oh, you like root beer?
Oh, you hate root beer.
I hate root beer.
Oh.
You like root beer?
Why is it called root beer?
Root beer floats?
Only
because they
as
throw
a
ice
float.
cream.
Just root beer.
Oh, root beer?
Yeah,
Because
with
it's
the
from a
vanilla.
root.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Actually, I don't know. All right, let's go into the topic, which is story time. Everyone's going to give us a story,
Oh shoot.
a church story.
It has to be a church.
Oh, we're actually
Yeah, a
doing this?
church story, childhood story,
Okay.
or a
Just think of a story.
funny story,
All my
Sure.
stories.
like an embarrassing moment story. It could be a combination of all three if you even have one. I always like to go with the incriminating story, so you guys don't have to do incriminating stories.
What happened to our list? We used to have a list behind.
We did have a
No
list,
No
but we
cursing,
broke.
no
Yeah,
burning out, no sending your locations. You guys broke every single
we
one.
broke every single rule.
So we what? We just
So I
ripped
took
up
it-
that list?
Yeah,
and-
I took it down.
I never signed a waiver.
That's true.
Everyone actually did sign an NDA, but
Mm.
it was right when you entered the house,
There's fine print on the threshold.
on the threshold. Yeah, on the door frame.
All right. I got one.
Everybody's got one.
You already have a story?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Wrapped it from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've told you it before. I had to. Because I think we've said
Oh, I
it.
know which one
Tell
it-
us embarrassing stories.
Can I guess which one it is?
Yes, go ahead.
Is it the one where you
Well, don't say, is it the one where, just give like a hint. You know?
you entered you
Yes.
okay.
Oh, I heard about this.
What?
No, just kidding.
I'm like, when? So, okay. I'm in college So while I'm in college, I'm living kind of with my grandparents. So is my sister. And my grandma's side of the family have a family reunion. So we decided to go. I don't know these people that well, to be honest. So I've never been in that neighborhood. So had a great time at the party, whatever. It's time to go. It's like a cookie cut neighborhood. All the houses look alike. You can't tell them apart. So I get to my car and I'm like, oh, or I get to my grandma's car, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I totally forgot my purse or something. So Nicole's like, oh, go. Like, we'll wait here in the car. So I go running to this house to get it. I open the door. That's unlocked. I opened the door and then I'm looking around. I'm like, something looks slightly different, but like it's the same setup, you know, whatever. So I'm like looking around and I see like this couple sitting on the couch. They're just watching TV, chilling. And I'm already in the house. I'm literally in their home. And I turn to my right and I see this huge dog, like the biggest dog I've seen in my life, just staring at me. And so I was frozen. You know how like when it's like fight, flight, freeze, whatever? I realized in that moment I freeze, I guess. I don't know. And so I was just frozen. I don't know what to do. And so it all happened so fast. The guy turns around and he's like screaming and he's like, what are you doing in my house? Like, and I was like, I don't know. And then the dog, it all happened that once the dog comes at me.
Oh my God.
The guy jumps over the couch, tackles his dog from attacking me.
Oh my God.
And then at that point, I just like backed out of his house and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like yelling at me the whole time. And so I turn around like almost crying, walking to my car because I got yelled at, just to be met with Nicole and my grandma like dying in the car because they saw the whole thing and they didn't bother telling me it was the house next door. They were just like, let's just, that's the wrong house. And they're like, let's just see what happens. I was like, what if?
My God.
I'm like, what if I walked into like a serial killer's home or something?
How old were you?
I was in college.
Oh,
literally,
my
I was in college.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
wild. Oh my God.
But in my mind, I'm like, who has their door unlocked in their home? Do
True.
you guys?
no.
Canadians.
Door completely unlocked.
They might be Canadian.
Yeah.
They might be
Crazy.
Canadian.
Did you get to the
That's
fridge
crazy.
at all?
No, you know what?
No.
One of my buddies lives in Newbury Park, and we were leaving his house one day. And it was like in the middle of the day, like 12, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., whatever. We were driving through the neighborhood leaving, and we see kids like in the front yard like playing catch and like skateboarding and on the bicycle, and we're just like, this is weird. Like I haven't seen this in a long time. Like obviously when we were kids we were doing that,
Right.
but nowadays like kids don't do that, and we were like, this is really weird. I mean, it was just like every single house had something going on. We're like, that's
Block
weird.
party.
And it's just like, yeah, it's just the neighborhood. Like, what, your guys' neighborhood doesn't do this? And I'm just like, not really. And I'm thinking like, oh, I live in Ventura, which not like a bad neighborhood, but like compared to
Not
Newbury
as
Park,
safe.
he's like
Yeah.
in a different society.
True.
And
Society.
and he's just like talking about how it's different and like, yeah, we never lock our doors. And we're just like, wait, so nobody locks their doors over here? He's like, no, that's weird. Like, why would you lock your doors? I'm like, what? Like, I know what I'm doing.
If you ever
crazy.
if you ever become a criminal, you know where to go.
Newbury Park.
Yeah. Maybe you were just in a really nice neighborhood and they didn't lock the
Maybe.
doors.
Seriously. But that's so scary.
No,
like I
dude.
think I would have freaked out too.
Yeah.
And then the dog, are you kidding?
No, I truly, I
Was
don't
it
even know.
Chihuahua?
I just froze. I completely froze.
It was
in that
just
moment.
massive.
But at the same time, I've had moments in my life where I'm also flight. I'm everything but what you should actually do. Like,
Fight or flight.
Just like run.
Something kind of similar happened to you with the car.
With the car?
Yeah. Remember?
Which one?
Oh,
when I
heard
got
about
out of the car and then someone came in.
Oh, that did happen. He went to go get Chipotle and I'm on my phone and I feel someone come in. I'm assuming it's him.
oh my.
And it's a whole dude ready to start the car. And I froze. I literally froze. And he was just like, oh, shoot. And like he sees me and I didn't say anything. I literally froze. And he gets out of the car. And then like my heart started beating, like realizing like this person could have like stolen the car or like whatever. And then I told you, but I was already like, oh, I'm having the reaction now
Actually, that happened.
after this guy.
That's literally
out.
like
I was
from,
driving.
Yeah.
I had the black truck, the Nissan
Oh
Frontier.
yeah.
And I think I was at the same grocery store, like in a parking lot,
Yeah.
just on my phone in the driver's seat with nobody else. And someone just opened, like some old lady, like in her 50s or 60s, like if you get offended at that, like, I'm sorry. She was older and she like opens the passenger, just like sits down and she looks and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I just look at her and I'm just like,
Lady, get out
Like,
of my car.
like lock.
Lock
Yes.
it,
Lock.
lock.
You're
Yes.
stuck. No, I'm just kidding.
She closes the door. You're like, so where we going?
No, but that's happened to me before.
That happened to
I'm
my.
so sorry. And then I'm pulling out, and I see her get into a black truck, not a Nissan Frontier, but like another black
Oh,
truck.
She got confused.
That happened to my aunt. To my tia Letty,
Oh wait,
Oh yeah.
where she was.
no,
I
it's my
think-
tia Carmen.
No, I think it was my tia Letty.
Oh,
I think like she was gonna get your mom's keys or something like get your mom's car, but somehow she went into another car and drove it.
so yeah. I know this-
Wow.
So what happened was they went to the nail salon.
Oh yeah.
And they were getting like mani pedis or whatever, and then my tia Carmen had to like go pick something up. So my mom like had just started, so I don't know how long does that take, like an hour and a half,
Probably, yeah, like
2 hours.
45 to an hour.
So my tia Carmen gets my mom's keys, which was like a gray Mercedes.
No, it was my tia Letty.
Oh, okay, my tia Letty, and then she gets my mom's keys, or supposedly
Yeah,
my mom's
yeah.
keys, and then gets in a gray Mercedes, drives around, yada yada, like comes back and whatever, brings the car back, like okay, I'm done, gives the keys back, and then my mom leaves, and I think what happens is my mom's like clicking the button, like what's going on, like why isn't the key I have unlocking my car?
Yeah, that's what it was.
And she like goes back. She's like, "Wait, these aren't my keys. Like, it doesn't have any of the keychains." So she goes back into the store and is like, "Letty, like, where are my keys? These aren't my keys." And she's like, "No, yeah, like." And then she grabs the keys. She walks over to the gray Mercedes and like unlocks it. And my mom's like, "That's not my car. Like, you were gone for an hour with somebody's car."
Wild.
crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I don't know how they got the
That's
keys,
crazy.
but
So she pretty much took your mom's car, went somewhere, got into a different car, and brought that car back to the nail salon. Essentially.
No.
no.
Right?
She
Isn't that
left
what-
the nail salon with that other person's car.
Oh, it was just a different person's car.
Yeah.
But how'd she
Oh.
get those keys?
She
The-
probably,
so I guess the
they
keys were
probably
already
Must
inside
have
the
been like
counter.
a person
keys were
next to her,
probably
and
already
was just like she just
And the
grabbed it.
lady's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably
gonna
just
go
getting her
ride.
nails done too.
Oh,
The
that's
lady never
funny.
knew.
They never knew.
That's
Damn,
crazy.
that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was. I remember that story.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Cars are weird.
Cars.
I'm
are
trying to think
weird.
of a story because of there's so many I've shared already on Relate to You that I'm like.
What was the funniest one? On Relate to You that you can think of telling us.
The catfish story.
Tell us the catfish story.
So there's actually more of an update. So I guess it's a good thing to share. I was 14 and I had a crush on someone in church.
She was just a child.
And I remember it was all the youth and we went to like Macaroni Grill. I'll never forget. And I liked this guy and Daniel had his phone number because he knew everybody. And I asked Daniel, I was like, hey, can I have his number? I just wanted to look at the phone number and star 67 it and hear his hello and then hang up. That's honestly all I
Aw.
wanted. And
Creeper.
Daniel was
I mean, yeah,
Daniel was like,
weird.
I'm not gonna give you this guy's phone number unless you actually call him or text him. I was like, no. He's like, well, I'm not gonna give it to you. So I was like, all right, fine. He's there, and I text him like a creep. I'm 14, and I'm just like, hey, is this blank? And they're like, yeah, who's this? Back in the days when people would respond to numbers that they don't recognize. And I'm like, oh, I'm someone from church. I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. You're this person, and blah, blah. Oh, who are you? And I said, well, we know each other. We had one conversation, and I assumed that he knew who I was. So I tell him, well, I'm on the praise team. I have curly hair. I'm short, and I have braces. And he's like, I know who you are. And I was like, cool. And we started talking for 3 months.
Wow.
Literally talking. I have feelings for this guy already. I'm like, oh my gosh, he likes me. But my name was never mentioned ever because he said he knew who I was based off of the description. I didn't feel to update. So anyways, one day he comes up to me, he sends me a message and he's like, hey, I said hi to you and you totally blew me off. And I was like, you never said hi to me. And mind you, I'm in the praise team. So every time this kid would come inside the church, I would sing looking in his direction and we're talking, we know each other. And I was like, no, you never said hi to me. Why we never had other interactions aside from text, I don't know.
For 3 months.
For 3 months. And he's like, yeah, I said hi to you. And like, you never said, like you never talked to me. And I was just like, no, I didn't. And I could say the name because I already told her. And he's like, yeah, I literally was like, hey, Ruth. And you completely ignored me. And the thing about it is that Ruth was short, curly hair, and had braces.
Fit that description.
And on the praise team.
And on the praise team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mortified. And I was like, I'm not Ruth. And he's like, who are you? And I said, my name is Kezia Valenzuela. Ghosted me after that. Ghosted me after that. And I died. Like after that, I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? Every time I've been making googly eyes to this person, he's been looking at Ruth, and she actually sang really well. And I think I told him like, I sing really well. So anyways, the update is at Mel's baby shower, Ruth is there. And I tell her the whole story. And she's like, I remember this guy. I remember this guy that he would come up to me and he would try to talk to me. And I was dating someone at the time. And I was like, what is it with this creeper? Like, why is he always trying to talk to me? Like if we're friends or whatever. And I was like, yeah, Ruth, I catfished him and he thought it was you. And she's like, that's wild. That's wild. He just started going to our church again. And
Oh, really?
every time I see him,
Name drop. Name drop.
quiero morir. And I
Name
told
drop.
Joel,
She
I
always
was
tells
like,
me, I'm
I was
like,
like, Joel, like, let's get out. Like, I just like, oh, it's one of those things of like, I wish I could erase from my history and just like, oh,
A good 3
the
months.
worst.
I think.
No. It was the worst. It was
I'll
absolutely.
give you the name tomorrow. I have to see who it is.
Yeah.
No.
So I have a story, but it's like, it's the worst thing that me and Isaac ever did.
Oh, I remember this one. Does that have to do with Moco de Gorda?
Okay, so this is
Second worst.
second worst thing I no crazy. That one was bad, but I'll say both. I'll say both of the stories.
Does it have to do with dirt?
Trash cans?
Dirt?
Dirt?
Mexicans.
Oh, okay. So I got 3 stories.
Oh my.
2 of them were well, one of them was at junior camp. The other one was at youth camp. So I'll start with the junior camp one. So at junior camp, me and Isaac went, and we're obviously the rebellious type, the crazy ones, the ones that always start problems. And there was one night where there was a bear that popped up, and the bear was in the general area of like the cafeteria. So they actually closed all the doors and like closed us in for a couple hours after the main service. Once the bear was gone, they pretty much let everybody out. But the next morning, we went to the same area where the bear was at, and it had defecated. A lot. So me and Isaac decided to throw dirt on it just because we're like, this is crazy. Like, this is way too big. Like, it's like that big. Like, you could jump 2 feet in and like
I don't need to know that.
yeah. and you'd still like could fit like another person's shoes there. So we threw dirt on it, and we're like, kind of looks like a rock. And we were both staring at it, and there was this kid that came by. And we like covered everything else because there was like a couple different like droppings from the bear, but it was this massive one that he left behind that we were like focusing on it, and we were just looking at it, and we were staring at it. The kid comes up and he's like, he was in the same cabin as us. He's like, "What are you guys looking at?" And we're like, "Oh, this rock." And I think it was like, I want to say it was at the same time, but I'm pretty sure it was me that told him, "You should step on it." The kid stepped on it, and his foot like literally went to the ankle.
I thought you were gonna say you should sit on it.
That would have been worse. That would have
That
been
makes more
worse.
sense. Like sitting on a rock.
I thought you were going to say you should pick it up.
or something like that.
That would have been worse.
But like step
But
on a rock.
That
He
would've been
stepped
awesome.
on it.
Oh my,
His
that's
foot,
his fault.
I know. His foot went all the way in. He freaked out and ran, and then ended up having to throw those shoes away, or at least one of them.
Honestly.
See, I think that's worse than picking it up. Because like picking it up, you just wash your hands.
Yeah.
But like your shoes, your pants, your socks. You got
Well,
Yeah, but if it gets in your nails though,
Oh, okay. Wait.
How
no,
traumatized
no,
would you
no.
be? Like, I picked up a rock that wasn't a rock.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to eat my next meal in peace. I'd be like, it's in my nails.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the
Gross.
second story.
you know what I would do?
What?
That night, I'd pray for you. Bam. Put the hands,
hands
lay
on
hands
you?
on your head and
You're
everything.
cleansed.
So the second story, it's slowly going to gradually get worse. The second story, me and Isaac are at youth camp now, and there's this kid that the only thing I remember about him is that every single time he kept saying like, "I've never received the Holy Ghost. I've never received the Holy Ghost." And this is not related to that. This is not related to that. But that's how I remembered him. Like he wanted to. He was so like passionate about receiving the Holy Ghost at youth camp.
Have you not heard these?
I'm trying to pick up because I don't know if this is the walkie-talkie one.
That's
Oh, you got another one. Hey, that one was good.
that one was Danny.
good.
Danny did that because he's the
good.
one that brought the
I
walkie-talkie.
remember that.
Got it.
But
That was great.
You should tell.
I'll tell that one.
you'll tell that one. So I'm bunking with Isaac, and it's just me, Isaac, the counselor who's never there because he's always gone like night duty or whatever, and this kid, and he's kind of like the total opposite of us. Like not I don't want to say nerdy, but like just kind of like very innocent,
Not
very
cool.
like not
Pick on.
cool. He probably like
Easy target.
easy target, yeah. So Isaac, and I was just laughing afterwards. Isaac is messing around with Moco the gorilla, which is the hair gel, and it's super slimy, super like green and slimy. So he starts messing with the kid and telling him like, if you keep acting up, I'm gonna throw something on you, and you're not gonna like it. And he meant like throw something on you. And he's like, he kept acting up, and he wasn't acting up. He was just being himself. So Isaac pretended to do something, and then turned off the lights and grabbed like a handful of it.
Oh yeah.
After he just like witnessed him like hiding over here in the corner, just
Freaking Joel.
that wasn't me.
Oh my god.
I was in my bunk.
That poor
But
kid.
I just know Isaac.
He
turned
just
off
wanted the Holy
light.
Ghost. He just wanted the Holy
I
Ghost.
cannot even believe this story.
No, but the thing is, he was shirtless, and I think it was that's what it was. Like it was something with his shirt.
The
Like
guy
he
went
didn't-
seeking for God.
Oh
and he
my
jumped up because he
God.
was on the top bunk. Isaac turns off the lights, jumps up, and all I hear is "Whoop-ass," and just. And he freaks out. Like he freaks out. I'm sure we kind of like told him right away. It's like it's just hair gel. It's just hair gel. But he like went almost crying to take a shower,
Oh my god.
and he received the Holy Ghost eventually.
That's awesome.
He did.
A great
But-
testimony.
But
Malvados.
that was one of the worst ones. Now, if you guys really want to hear the worst one, this one I even feel bad about.
I'm like, it gets worse.
I think it's worse because the first story with the poop, that was like we were like, what's junior age, like
Yeah, like
Little
11,
menaces.
11,
12.
whatever, 10, 11, 12.
And, okay, so this was like in 6th grade. The next
So
story,
you guys were 14, 15?
14, 15. So there's this kid,
No, actually.
Like 13.
13.
Yeah.
So what's 6th grade? 13 years old.
12,
No.
13.
Sixth
you're
grade is like-
14.
6th grade is like 12. 12.
Yeah, 6th grade is
No,
12.
14, you're
Oh,
8th grade.
sorry.
Yeah, because all I know is that we were definitely younger than junior camp.
Okay.
So me and Isaac went to the same school, elementary school. I would at the time I was going to special ed class,
Middle school or elementary?
For real?
middle school. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
This just unlocked
Oh,
something for him. You just unlocked something
Part
for him.
of elementary, all the way to middle
Like, oh,
school.
I didn't know that. He said,
So
It changes your whole world.
he's like, this started makes
you're
sense.
like, so short bus, right? So
Planets are aligned.
yeah, I was
Let's run in the family.
I was in special ed for the majority of middle school, and I was in a class with this kid.
But he got out of it.
I got out of it eventually.
graduated.
I graduated.
Took 8 years, but you got it.
Exactly. I still ride the short bus. So this kid, he had a big crush on this girl that was just way out of his league. Like this girl was just like it was like he's bottom tier and she's the top tier, kind of. And he had a big crush on her. This dude would write love letters to her. And I don't know why me and Isaac were just like, this is just another easy target. So I had class with him. Isaac was in different classes. He was not in special ed. So Isaac wrote a love letter to him from this girl. And this is where I felt bad because I was an accomplice because he was like, I'm going to write the letter, but you're going to deliver it. So I was like, I'm down. I got the letter. I snuck it into his backpack. And in the love letter, it obviously said, like, I know that you like me. I know that you've been writing me letters. I feel the same way about you. I have feelings for you. I would love to meet you. And he would always tell me stories about, like, he would go to the bus stop and she would take the bus and he would take the bus. So he's
So
like,
you were this guy's friend.
Yes.
Wow.
You became friends.
And we became friends.
Some double agent type.
It's Alex.
Yes. Actually, Alex went to the same middle school as us during the same time.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know him then. He was just some other kid. So we pretty much tell him in the love letter at the end, like, meet me at the bus stop, and we can talk. So I put in the note in his backpack. He finds it. I see him find it, and he's like amazed. He reads it, and he's just like all full of emotions.
Poor kid.
Me and Isaac kind of go by the building,
This is awesome.
and the kid shows up and he's there holding the letter, and the girl's passing by, and he says hi to her, and she straight up just ignores him and gets on the bus. And Isaac laughed, but I was like, dude, that was almost too much. that like hurt me.
Like 12-year-olds.
We were
As someone who got
12-year-olds.
ghosted, that hurts on a
Right, this
personal
is,
level.
oh, this is triggering.
Yeah, so that was the worst thing we ever did.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
But
Isaac, I have not met you,
See, but like
but this is not a great impression. No, I'm joking.
He'll be at the wedding.
he'll be at the wedding.
See you at the wedding.
at least like if he was in high school, that'd be a lot worse. Like he's in
Yeah.
middle school.
True.
Yeah.
Like you remember all your middle school relationships?
Yeah.
Like they didn't mean anything
Yeah,
in your life. You know?
Well, maybe for him. I don't know. His trajectory kind of went down. You've kind of
Wait,
met
so
him once.
he was also in special ed classes?
Yes.
Oh.
I've met the kid.
Yeah.
What?
I've met the kid.
You met the kid?
He works at a movie theater. We always see him all the time.
Oh, what's his name?
And the thing that kind of sucks is that he always is like, dude, whenever you want like a free movie ticket, like let me know. And I'm just like, nah,
You
no,
need
it's
to
okay.
confess.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we're not
you
going to
can't
that movie theater
confess.
ever
You never
again.
confess to
What
that.
if that was
Oh
a
my
canon event and that
God.
changed that entire kid's
That's
life?
true.
You
Yeah.
can't, and then he realizes like he was played. Like, no, you can't do that.
That's how school shooters start. Like, no,
And then
He's such a nice guy.
he's a nice guy.
yeah, and that because of that event, he is a
Yeah.
nice guy.
Yeah.
You can't take that away because then he becomes an evil guy.
I think he was a nice guy even before that.
Yeah. I think that's his villain origin story.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
no, you can't.
Seriously.
You can't expose that.
Yeah. That was
Hopefully he
that one I
doesn't
actually
watch.
felt bad about.
He doesn't watch this, right?
No.
Imagine.
If you do, I'm
He
sorry.
finds out.
What's his name?
I can't say it. No. That one I see him around, so no.
Dang, that one's-
But that was a long time ago.
It's a good one.
You guys were
And,
menaces during camp. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I was over here, like, trying to get my worship
Seeking
on.
the Holy
the
Ghost.
Lord,
That kid.
You know,
What's
the
that?
worst thing that happened to me at a camp was that the crush that I like saw me like practically throw up while I was in the Holy Spirit. I was literally like, I'm gonna be worshiping up here because he's gonna be attracted to me because I love Jesus, and then I'm literally praying and I'm like coughing because of all the phlegm that gets stuck when you're like speaking in tongues, and the guy was playing the bass just like literally did that, and I was like, oh man, that was
Playing the
all I
bass?
was
Oh, I
doing.
know who that is.
It could have been a million people.
Playing the bass?
Yes.
Who go?
No.
Oh, dang. I don't know.
We were talking about throwing up downstairs. I don't know why that came up, but
Oh, because he can't throw up.
Tell us your story about the walkie-talkies. Because they kept
Walkie-talkies.
blaming me, and I was like,
I thought it
Yeah, no,
did
they
not
kept
do
blaming
that.
him. I had gone to junior camp a couple times already. Oh yeah, I had gone to junior camp 3 times, I think already. So this was the first youth camp. Yeah, and It was the first time at Pinecrest. That year specifically, it was hailing. Like it was like really bad weather.
It used to be like this where, I mean, I don't know if they know this. We all know this, but like junior camp would be first, and then youth camp.
Mm-hmm.
When the juniors would leave that morning, youth camp would show up. So like that one day was always hectic.
Yeah.
So I think that on top of it, like
That
it was
on top of
already
it,
a hectic
It was
day,
hectic.
and it's
The
hailing.
hailing, like the weather's terrible. So right away, everybody's getting into their bunks, getting into their cabins. And I decided that year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring walkie-talkies, and I'm gonna infiltrate their frequency. And so I was like,
Infiltrate their frequency.
So dramatic.
He did
I was
it,
like, it worked. It worked.
Infiltrate the
So I figured out, for some reason they were on Channel 7. So I was like, all right, let me get on Channel 7.
Wait. Before you continue the story, the year before, Danny took a picture of their walkie-talkies. And this is a year long.
A year
A
long.
year
Oh
long.
yeah,
plan.
I was plotting.
You're
I was plotting.
committed.
Yeah. So yeah, once I got all my equipment situated, I got into Channel 7. And so it's already hectic. They're like, hey, like, have you guys seen this camper? Blah 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 blah. At some point, I kind of wait till it dies down a little bit, and I get the walkie-talkie and I say, "Attention, all counselors. We're going to be canceling service tonight due to the bad weather." And then you just hear chaos go out. They're like, "Are you serious?" Like,
What?
everybody's like chiming in. Is that real, brother? Where'd you get that from, brother? Hey, is service actually canceled? I guess it's canceled. Okay, just keep your kids. Like it was chaos.
bad.
God.
And then somebody else is, no, service isn't canceled. I don't know who said that, And so they start looking around. They figure out somebody's got a walkie-talkie. So once that starts going out, counselors, check your kids' cabins to see if there's a walkie-talkie or whatever. So right away, me and Joel were like, oh, we got to hide the walkie-talkie. So we stuck it in the vent.
Oh
And,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we stuck it in the vent.
The
and,
AC vent, or not? No,
the
wasn't it
heater.
the heater vent.
Yeah. Yeah, and they searched the room, couldn't find it. So yeah, that was,
No,
Almost-
you say
but
the
the
second-
second
that
call.
wasn't the
Remember the
end
second
of
call?
it.
Yeah, because there was a
That's
second
not
call.
what was the
wrong.
second
Yeah.
call?
The-
Oh, the
right
second,
second
the
time.
second
before that,
time.
before they came to search, there was a second call that Danny sent out,
Oh yeah,
and
I
that
said,
one was worse.
yeah, that part I said, attention, was it girls or
No,
yeah,
it was-
attention girl counselors.
Oh yeah.
There is a boy inside the girls' cabin,
Oh my God.
and so they started looking for the guy.
All you hear on the radio is, "All right, we're on our way."
We're on our way.
Everybody's running.
Everybody was
running.
running.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
That's great.
there's a boy in the girls' cabin.
And then they started searching because they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I think someone's got a walkie-talkie or something."
That's great.
Yep.
No, camp was fun, but you guys had a different experience than we did.
Camp was fun, but we made it great.
Yeah.
yeah, camp was fun, but we made it great. We found
They don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Like like the kids box. That's cool. I mean, we did that.
Yeah.
Like that was like the
boxing
least fun thing that we did.
Look, I just totally remembered what you did.
Oh yeah. Can you say that one or not?
Did
Can you say that one?
Nah.
We
Oh,
did nothing ever.
Oh my God, I totally forgot.
I was an angel, Joel.
you guys always get me in trouble. Your side of the family always gets me in trouble, dude. Because I was stuck with the evidence. Remember?
Oh yeah.
You know what I remember? The rocks on the train.
Oh yeah.
Those were bad, yeah.
Well, we were
That was
kids.
dangerous, bro. That was deadly.
Dude,
I think
that,
Danny's told me that one.
that was great.
me and
That was
Isaac found a rebar
no,
and we put it across the tracks, and we thought we were gonna cause that thing to flip because we were far away too, and we just hear whoop.
no. How about one time? It was me that ended up doing it. But we found a big rock. We found a huge rock, and we put it on the railroad.
It took two of us to
And
carry it.
yeah, okay, I was trying to take the blame by myself, but okay, yeah, it took both of us. Like it was huge,
A quarter of the
and
table.
we just stopped and we like looked at it for a
a
bit,
boulder.
and then we're thinking,
boulder.
no, this is gonna derail the thing. Like, so we
my
started feeling
God.
very like,
We like put it there. We put all like the little rocks,
Yeah.
right, like leading up to it, and
Yeah.
then we put the big rock. We're standing there, at grandma's house, like you would
Yeah,
go around
the back.
like the fencing, and you would just stand there, and you could hear like, like
Yeah.
all the rocks shoot out. So we're standing there. We're just like, I think I think we're gonna kill people.
Yeah, we felt guilty. We felt guilty. We were like, dude, this is mass murder. This is crazy, dude. Like,
So did you guys do anything?
We took it off. We took it off. Yeah.
We hear like the ting ting ting.
Yeah.
ting, ting,
Oh,
and we're
So
like,
God.
no, but this guy.
Thank the Lord.
So we took it off, right? And so I was still trying to adjust it, like taking it off. This guy went running already. This guy went running.
He just left him.
And then so
Yeah,
he's
the train's
here, the
coming.
ting ting ting. I guess I had bad hearing or something.
Oh my
Whatever.
God.
Look, I remember
But
seeing
then-
the train is maybe like 200 yards away, 300 yards.
Yeah, and then I hear this guy from like, I'm like, I thought you were right next to me. He's like, Danny, the train. And so
gets-
right away I started
Oh my
running.
gosh.
Right when I turned the corner, all the rocks that were on the thing like got
blowing up.
shot out.
But we got the big one off. I think.
Yeah, we got
got
the
it-
big one.
you
Yeah.
got it
So,
off.
so we saved lives.
Yeah, we,
that day.
we did save.
We
lives.
essentially
Oh
saved
my
them.
We almost killed them, but we
Yeah.
saved them. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's all that God cares.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
We're going to heaven. I don't know about you guys.
yeah.
We
You
repented.
repented.
No, dude, that giant like rebar thing that me and Isaac found, we literally put it crossed to one side to the other.
God.
And it was like we ran because we're like we're gonna get on our bikes and we're just gonna go down that path and like if it flips, it flips. But all we hear is "Grrr." We go back and it's like in pieces. I was like, dang.
Did you guys ever do anything to animals? Like hurt them?
Like serial
I thought you said you weren't trying to
Yeah.
incriminate yourself.
like psychopaths?
Just
Obviously-
animal, like lizards.
Because
Oh,
I,
yeah,
had, I
lizards.
had a
Yeah.
psychopathic for like era
Oh,
where I would kill fishes. I was like 4 or 5. We would always have Walmart 10-cent fishes on top of our piano. And I don't know if I just wanted to touch them, but I would pull them out of the water and put them on the piano and they would like jump. And then when they would stop, I would go like on top of it.
Oh.
And then they would like stop moving.
That
then
was
I'd
unnecessary.
And then I'd throw them back in. And my mom was like, man, these Walmart
These things don't last.
they don't last.
That's worse than what I did to that kid.
Look, that's interesting because I feel like there's something, I don't know what it is. No. But you like something
yeah.
about that. I don't know whether it's your
Something-
mom being surprised
yeah.
Maybe.
or it's like,
Yeah.
The
Like you
texture
like
of
getting
the
away with
fish.
murder.
or you like the secret and like only you knew the secret, but nobody else knew the secret.
Well, it's
Tell
just
them about the
like
parrot.
Because as a kid,
intrusive thoughts.
a
you know?
kid,
Tell them about
I
the
think
parrot.
that's what it was. I think as a kid,
you don't know what
just
death is.
you don't know what
though.
death
Yeah.
is. And
You know, I'm put this
Yeah.
fish to sleep.
It's just like
Dr.
curiosity.
Fisher.
so we
Like
had
Batman.
we had
Oh
a,
no, they're sleeping. They're sleeping.
we had a beautiful blue parakeet named Angel. That was my sister's. And she would never let me go into her room. Like her room was off limits. She was a teenager. But this bird was so trained. Like she
Really?
would call him. He would come and land on her hand. He would give her kisses. Wonderful, like bird. But she would never let me hold him because she was always like, no, you're gonna hurt him or whatever. So one day she, for whatever reason, wasn't at home. And I could hear the like door of her room calling me. And so I went into her room and I opened Angel's cage and I grabbed Angel on my hand and I just went,
She's squeezing it. She's like,
I squeezed him and his like thing went, like he was just
oh
like,
shit.
his little tongue, his eyes, and that kind of
popped.
like freaked me out. And so I was like, and I put him back in, and he just went, and he fell to the side.
Dang.
Now another update because I've said this story in the podcast, and I was like, but he survived, and we got another bird, and he had his like neck a little tilted, but he survived. And Annie's like, no. You killed him. I was like, what do you mean I killed him? And she's like, my mom bought me another bird that looked like Angel to help me with grieving, but that wasn't Angel. And I was like,
Dang.
I killed him? And she's like, yes, he died in my hand that night. I came and I didn't greet him that morning. And I had so much guilt that I didn't greet him because when I came back, he was dead. He was already gone.
So when you told that story, that was the first time.
I just found this out last year.
She just
I didn't
finished
know
grieving?
I killed him. I knew I squeezed him, but because I remember that other bird, I always thought, but he didn't die.
He was just a little twig.
I shortened his lifespan, and up until recently, I found out I killed him.
Dang.
That's awesome.
But
That's
that was
How long like were you like killing him for?
no.
How long were you killing him?
Like was it like enough for like the parents to
I
talk?
don't remember so many details.
like,
but
she's
I
killing me,
wanna say-
like that, like
I I think it was like a stress ball situation. Like it was like a one,
Yeah.
it was like a one squeeze. But I will
One
never
squeeze.
forget. His tongue stuck out. He
Oh,
legit
yeah.
went, "Huh,"
Yeah.
you know, and I literally was like, "Oh shoot!"
Here.
And then I literally like I grabbed him
Squeezed
and
it.
I grabbed him and I went,
Not for the
I
tongue to come out.
squeezed him like that.
It's just wait. How old were
And-
you?
4 or 5.
Yeah, it's just that stage because you know what? I never went that far, but I was a
I never went through
I
with
was a
it.
psychopath, you know. But no, I was like a biter as a kid, and I had this one.
Aw.
I have this one memory of hanging out with a neighbor.
Don't
of hanging
bite
out
me.
with this neighbor, like a friend. You know, we were the same age.
Yeah.
I must have been like 4 or 5 too, maybe. No, 3, maybe. I don't even know. But we were out there, and I remember just thinking, I want to bite her, and so I bit her.
Oh my god.
And of course, like the neighbor was super,
anxious.
yeah, and I'm like, what? I give up.
She's like a news
get
anchor.
It's like
Breaking news.
breaking news.
This
It's
just
all
in.
good.
Sorry, I was distracted.
It was more so because you were holding it. You're
Yeah.
like, I got this.
I'm like,
Thought you were Kanye West for a second.
no, because you know what? Danny puts it back on, and look at how he puts it on.
Oh.
Like, of course it's
even
gonna
on
fall
her head.
off.
It looked
Look
great
at
for
that.
me.
So did you bite him or what happened?
I bit her, and the neighbor
bit her?
Oh,
was
her.
super livid, and she told my mom, "You better put a leash on your child."
Oh, she
She
was
said
an
that.
adult?
No. Her
She was
mom,
an
the
adult.
kid's mom,
Oh, got it.
was like, "You need to put a leash on your kid. She just bit my kid." And my mom was like mortified, obviously, and like got me really in trouble. You know, I think I probably got spanked over it just because, you know, it's
Right.
so embarrassing. But I always had that tendency, like, Yeah.
All I'll say is, as a kid, I got away with a lot of stuff because people thought I was an angel, and it worked out in my favor.
Do you think you can't say the
Nah, I can't.
the extinguisher thing?
Nah,
He said,
That's a
"Nah."
good story.
I feel like we've told it before in the podcast.
I think we have.
I know that story.
I've never told it.
Go back to season 2, episode 4. Probably on there.
Tim says
But
it.
what's a good all American Christian story you can share?
Yes, tell us something.
all American.
I don't even know.
Did you, like, save a baby
baseball
from a fire?
story.
No.
Oh, you know what? You did save a baby, a kid from drowning.
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, that's not funny. That's just like.
Well, it was
What?
funny because they almost drowned. Well, I guess that.
Okay, I don't know. It was like you know, like those parties, like it's somebody's birthday party, like in our family, so everybody goes, but like you don't know, who,
Like a pool party.
Yeah.
but like you don't know who the person is. You just know that they're family somehow.
It's a
Right,
pool
yeah.
party, but nobody was in the pool.
So like, yeah, well, there were kids in the pool, and then there was the jacuzzi, and the jacuzzi was, you know, large, maybe as big as
4
like
feet. Some,
maybe half the room, so it was somewhat large. And there was like, I don't know how old the kid was, but he was a kid, and I was a kid. I was maybe 12.
I mean, you were probably
10, 12?
Probably, you were probably 10.
I was probably 10.
Yeah, we were probably 10. So they must have been like
4, 5.
4 or 5.
And the kid like gets in the jacuzzi, and you know how a jacuzzi is like, adults can walk in it, but like kids can't.
Right.
Like there's like the step where
Yeah, there's
you
the
sit.
where you sit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But he was like in the center where like he couldn't
Yeah.
touch the floor because he was a baby. And then he's like, I don't know, drowning or whatever.
Well, we were just walking around the jacuzzi, like, you know, like, hey, why are these kids not supervised? Whatever.
Yeah.
Because the party was like more on the other side of the
It
pool.
was behind like
Yeah.
like where the restrooms were. So it was like
Oh,
on the
okay,
other side of the building. And then there was the kid drowning, and like all the other kids are just like, oh my gosh, but they can't reach because they're too small. Like they can't reach them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. I don't know if I think I jumped in. Did I jump in?
No,
how
I think
old were you?
you just
I think I
reached
just
in there.
grabbed,
And,
I was
like
like 10,
10?
12.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
just grabbed them, and then
Instinct.
and the kid was like,
yeah, I, you know,
Coughing
I don't
out
think I
water.
didn't jump in because I don't remember getting.
no, I don't think you jumped
But I
in.
remember like pulling him up and then like getting him out, and then that was it. Like
Your first like
Heroic
heroic
deed.
move deed.
I don't
And
know.
that's what made him become
Where
a
he's at, yeah.
deputy.
No, I literally don't remember anything else. I just remember I think I left like 5 minutes after that. Like my family left.
I just remember like none of the adults
Nobody knew. Like
until
everyone just saw
after
this kid. Like
they were saved.
After.
Right.
Dang.
everyone
Yeah,
just saw the
yeah.
kid was like drenched. And like, what happened to you? Oh, I almost died.
I almost died.
That was it.
Tim saved me.
No, I don't even know who the kid is.
I think it was
He probably jumped right back in.
I think it was one of it was either like Kevin or
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think it was Kevin.
Didn't someone save you from the ocean?
Lifeguard, 2 lifeguards.
Not me or Tony.
Yeah, not the guys. Yeah,
Oh, because the
That's a whole
current
other
said
story.
that.
Oh, yeah.
I
I've
remember
yeah
hearing
I've told that story before.
Yeah,
I'm
I
almost
remember
certain
that.
he's told that story.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any like first love, like obviously early first love, like when you guys were kids, stories?
Nah,
Heartbreak, first kiss, or
just God.
First
Just
kiss.
all.
I think I was like,
Jesus.
must have been like 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I watched
No.
a lot of Disney movies as a kid, so I think I was an early bloomer, and I had a concept of wanting to be in a relationship very early.
Mm.
So that's why I think I have a lot of stories in that department.
Yeah, I don't think I do. More embarrassing ones.
Going back to the animals, I remember one. Do you remember how we used to have hamsters?
Yeah.
Remember that hamster? That I was like, I put my hand in there and I was just playing with it, and then at some point, like maybe 10 minutes later, I took my hand out and my hand was all bloody.
Oh,
Oh, when
No,
it hit you?
hamsters are.
Yeah, it bit me.
Yeah.
It bit me and I was
Aggressive.
bleeding like
Like
crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which is weird how he didn't feel it.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't feel it.
Did
It
they
was
have
like
like
Probably a lot
babies?
of blubber. In my,
Did they have babies? Because they
No,
get like
no, it
that
was
when they have a
just,
bunch of babies, you know. No?
We had our own hamsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any big injuries?
I think one time I feel like I either sprained my arm or broke it, but I never went to the hospital.
You fell off that truck.
I fell off a truck one time too. Tim was there
What?
too.
Moving or how?
Well,
yeah, that was
the
a good-
first
that
time,
was
the
a good
first
one.
time, the first time. Okay, let me tell you the first one and the second one. The first
Wait,
one,
you fell twice? I only knew about one.
well, it wasn't off a truck. The second one was a truck. The first one, me and Tim were like, I don't know. Everything happened when we were like 11 to 12, for some reason.
I don't remember this one.
Well, we were playing around. This was back when you used to live in Saratoga, and
Locations.
we, I mean,
He doesn't live there anymore.
yeah, whatever. We were like playing in like the back, kind of by where the garage was, and I just fell. I fell and I landed on my arm, and for like a week or 2 weeks, I just held my arm like this the whole time. I kid you not. I didn't go to the hospital.
Danny.
I told my mom like it hurts,
no.
it hurts, but like she was just like you know,
I can see my mom's doing that.
you know,
Oh my
she's like my back hurts. Like okay, all right, fine, valid.
Oh my
You know?
god.
So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I broke something or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
Check.
Well, it's just like you get X-rays and like there's scars of like where
Yeah.
your bones healed.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
All I
it's all malunion.
I think injuries. I just remember Isaac getting hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Like he was always the one
Poor
doing
Isaac,
the craziest
what I'm
stuff,
writing about.
and he would always get hurt.
Actually,
Yeah.
for some reason, every single time I went out with Isaac, I was always the one that got hurt.
Oh yeah, I remember one time
Probably
you
because
guys
he was pushing you.
guys were like going down a hill.
Yeah, Victoria.
The
We were bombing
skateboarding
down
one?
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
longboard, and we had
That's
just
great.
done a mission to go all the way to Main Street to Rocket Fizz to get the little 6-pack of soda pop ones.
Yeah.
And we were literally skating back. He had a skateboard, I had my longboard, and
I thought
I
skateboarding
decided to
was cool.
follow him.
Main
which was-
Street is far. What the heck?
Yeah, dude. Back then
Yeah.
we would do missions like that all the time. I don't know
Not even
how.
a bike.
On a
Skateboard,
skateboard.
that's
Yeah,
Skateboard.
we've done it on the bike too. But we went, and we were. He went down, and he like crouched down, and so, I feel like you guys might know what the wobblies are. But when
I know what that is.
when the skateboard wobbles too much when you're going fast downhill,
It's
eventually,
anytime you go fast. on
yeah.
anything.
So I started getting the wobblies, and I was holding a glass soda pop, and I remember too because it was the ginger ale one, and I remember like I needed all I thought that I was like I gotta get rid of this glass. I gotta get rid. I'm gonna fall. I know I'm gonna fall, but I gotta get rid of the glass because I don't want to fall on the glass. So I was going, and I just remember like doing this motion, and the skateboard went that way too, and I remember I twisted and scraped my elbow, and then literally the rest of my weight just landed on here, and I kind of have a scar here, but it was just like it just peeled the skin all the way back.
I remember you Snapchatted.
And then I took a picture because I was like, Isaac like slowed down. He started laughing. He came back up, and I
That's the thing, though.
crawled.
You can't slow down,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
especially like you have.
Well, he
momentum.
was like way down the hill by the time he stopped. So he tried slowing down, but he couldn't. I was like on the floor, crawled to the sidewalk, sat down. Isaac finally came back up with my skateboard. And then that's when he was laughing, and he's like, dude, you're bleeding like crazy. And I was just like, oh, sorry. blood like just gushing from here. And then he's like, dude, watch. And he took a picture, and I'm just like laughing.
You're on the floor,
I'm,
right?
I'm on the sidewalk
Yeah.
like this, on like my hands on my knees, and there's just like blood like just gushing. I'm just like laughing, and it was a good picture, but I could never find it. It was a good picture, and I think I showed it to you.
Yeah.
That same hill, I fell off a bicycle following Isaac too.
It's always it.
Yeah.
You and
I think we've learned the pattern.
Yeah.
Now I remember on that same house. Remember how like the garbage dumpster, like the dumpsters used to be, like towards telephone, like,
Saratoga?
behind the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember that house?
Yeah.
And like the dumpsters, you had to like walk with the trash all the way up there.
Do you guys remember
Yes.
the possum we threw into the bowl?
Oh, I remember
I
that.
don't know. I
Yeah.
just remembered that.
Yeah,
But anyways, we had like the little
because it was
blue,
in that pool.
He couldn't do it.
we had the little blue BMX bike.
The worst-
Mine.
The worst part is that Alex kicked it.
Ugh, torture.
He couldn't get
you
on.
guys ever-
Ugly. Ugh.
Did you guys ever talk about like the BB guns and all that, or no?
Baby guns?
And the possums?
Oh no,
No,
Nah, man.
I don't think so.
That was at a later time.
the next one.
But anyways, Isaac and I would take turns going up to like where the dumpsters were, and it was like a slight decline, not
Yeah.
as steep as the hill, but we would just pick up speed as fast as we can, and then we would just like slam the brakes, and then you go
On the bikes? Yeah.
right, and then you would like sometimes go on your nose like that, and then you'd have to like balance yourself. And we would just do that all the time.
Right.
One time he was doing it, and he goes, and maybe he was maybe 11, 12 years old, and I was 6, 7, I don't know. But he does it, catches the nose, and then just flips, like, and he just goes
Whoa.
on his nose. And I remember like he like messed up his face, like got bloody, like didn't break anything, but he was all bloody. And then me not knowing like common sense, like I went to go do it. It was my turn, so I went up and I slammed the brakes, and I just overcorrected and not going over my nose, but like sitting back, and I had like seated like all the way back too much, and then I just like fell off the back, and I just landed on my tailbone. That was like the worst, like, both the worst case scenarios for both.
But didn't you have a nose injury?
That was baseball.
Oh yeah.
That was when I took the
Oh.
baseball to the nose.
Yeah. I remember this.
But yeah,
That's one thing with Isaac though. Like he would bounce back so quickly.
Yeah.
There were so many times where he would fall off the bike and he'd just be rolling through, and I'm like, I don't know, that didn't seem like a normal fall. And then we meet up, and he checks, and he's like, he's been bleeding the entire time we were riding bikes. And it's like, wait, why didn't you stop? Like, why didn't we wash it off or something? He's like, it's whatever.
This episode is like an ode to Isaac.
Yeah.
I remember
to Isaac.
it was us four, and we would go. So like me, Joel, Isaac, and Tim, and we would go to Blanche Reynolds, and they would want to do like parkour all the time. Do you guys remember
I
that?
remember that.
And then one time, this guy jumps off the bridge.
It was like 20 feet.
He was I.
Wait,
It was a
gotta
tall
take her-
bridge.
Take her to that actual playground just to see like.
Watch it not be 20 feet. It's just like
I think. Oh, so
5
this is
feet.
the crazy thing. I think
Proportion.
they teared it down.
oh, they did.
Because it's no longer called Blanche Reynolds. It's like Pacific something elementary or something like that. They changed the name.
Well,
I don't know.
there was,
I don't
like-
know if it's
was a
still the
huge
Rainbow
playground.
Bridge.
It was
Yeah, it was
nice.
massive.
Yeah,
But they had like the wood chips, and then it had like the wood
Oh,
platform,
yeah, the
Classic.
mulch or whatever.
and then it had like stairs somewhere, and then it had like this huge bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge. Remember?
Rainbow Bridge. Yeah,
I jumped from the bridge down to like the wood, not the
That
wood
was
chips.
high.
yeah. We would
like
make
the
that
wood.
whole little park an obstacle course. You can't touch the floor. So one time, Tim jumped off the bridge, and I don't know. He
I
landed.
had to have fractured my,
He landed
like, my
some.
heel or
He
something.
was
like that.
crying, and I just remember Isaac, like instead of being like, "Tim, are you okay?" He was like, "Tim, you didn't land right. You were supposed to. You were supposed to like. You're supposed to land on your toes."
Oh my
And
god.
and then Tim's just crying. He's like, like it hurts or whatever.
Like,
He's
I
like,
had to have broken something.
yeah. And he was
Because
just
it
like,
was
Or
bad for,
sprained it or
a
something.
Did you
month.
walk this off and go
Yeah.
home like that? Oh
Yeah, nobody knew.
gosh.
yeah,
So you
the
all
most part.
probably had broken bones, and you.
probably.
Probably.
That's
But we never
insane.
reported it.
Yeah. Like I think I had a concussion one time, or like
Still
a.
does.
He's still recovering.
Yeah, I probably. Oh, I mean, I blacked out. Remember when I fell off the
Oh,
car?
yeah.
When I fell off the truck, I fell off the truck. It was John driving.
It's
You
like
were in
it
the
was
front?
Isaac driving.
Who was in front?
So imagine
So-
like a truck, like
Yeah.
the Nissan truck, and then we were all on the passenger side, on the outside, like on the
On the
step
rail. Yeah.
So the windows,
What were you guys?
We're
holding
hanging on the rail on the side of the car. Like
I
the
was
doors are closed.
like the frontmost. So I had the handlebar that's
Yeah.
on the inside of the truck, and
Tony was next.
I think that's it. I was just holding like this,
Tony was holding onto the headrest,
the headrest. Yeah, just like
and I was just pure fingertips on the window, like on the window ledge,
just like that.
just fingertips. You know, like Spider-Man.
Oh my God, Danny.
So we're just going.
So we're
in
going in
circles, like
circles, yeah.
5 miles per hour.
Right around BJ's. You know how there's like that little
Oh, the
circle?
home,
Parking
the like
lot.
Home
Little
Depot
parking
parking
lot,
the
like
big parking
just
lot?
going
Yeah.
circles.
Just going in circles.
Maybe 5 times, 6 times.
At some point, John thought it was funny. Hey, let me go hit this dip.
It
You know?
speeds up like
And so
15
I'm
miles per
yelling.
hour.
I'm like, no, don't hit the dip. Don't hit the dip. Well,
Me and Tony are like,
yeah. Hit
we
the
got a
dip.
good grip.
Because I only have fingertips.
Oh my God.
Well, all I remember is we hit the dip and I went flying. And so I go flying and I just remember hitting my butt, my back, and my head. And then I just
Bro,
remember like waking up.
Oh shit.
Like I remember I woke up and I just like sat up real quick. And I looked at my foot and my shoe was like
So we pop
And
a
I was like,
U-turn.
Oh my god.
and I hear these guys like
So we pop a U-turn and we're like, oh, dude, like what the heck? We go quiet. We're like, oh, what the heck? Like we get off, we start walking towards him. I see his shoe like, I don't know if I can demonstrate it, but like
Yeah.
it was like his foot's like this. And,
Oh my God.
yeah. It was all the way.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, his
No.
foot?
and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, he broke his leg.
And at that point I looked at it too and I was like, and I like for me it was like no.
Adrenaline. You're in
And-
shock.
And so I went,
Imagine it was
my
broken
shoe
and
was
he
just
just
off.
realigned it.
Oh,
My shoe was
okay.
just gently off and it was just turned. Like
So as soon as he fixes it,
Danny.
I just start laughing.
Yeah.
'Cause that's all
Yeah.
that I could do.
The way Isaac taught you.
Like
you
the
know?
relief, yeah.
yeah, like
And then I think we end up like, we're dude, are you all right? Like,
I
oh,
went to
yeah,
the
he's
gas
fine.
station or something like
And
that.
then we look at his arm, he has tire marks.
So what happened was I fell off, but when I fell off and hit the floor, my arm got ran over by the car.
Oh my God.
So the tire mark was all over it there, yeah. But I didn't remember it because I think I had blacked out in
Out
that
of
split
the
second.
pain.
arm was
Oh
fine.
my
I was fine, yeah.
God.
He was fine.
Truly? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
This is a funny story.
No, you guys' injuries are wild.
But he
I
didn't
was
get
just,
injured.
I was just impaled. Like that was like no.
You just killed things.
No, I was
just killed things.
impaled. Like
Impaled.
impaled is when something goes through you, right?
You were impaled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
I
impaled?
stepped on a rake.
Ooh.
Oh.
I
Oh,
went-
something like that happened with Joel. Oh, no, you stepped on a toothpick.
No, yeah, someone left a toothpick in the car. It's not the same. It's not the same.
That's right.
It's not.
Yeah, not a rake, but, you know.
But that
a
one
toothpick.
actually went in, and
yeah.
my parents had to take it out.
My
Oh,
dad.
no.
I tried so many times, and I was like, I
toothpick?
can't do it.
You know what's funny? I was just watching him and
I was
grieving.
barefoot,
Like, he was crying.
Going in the living room, and then someone had just like dropped the toothpick.
Yeah.
It somehow got wedged into the carpet, and my toe
when he
just went
sat, or
and it
when
just
he,
in,
yeah,
in.
and it was deep.
It was deep.
And I still remember my dad when like he was trying to pull it out and he was just crying. And then at some point, you know, my dad, like he's just like, en el nombre de Jesus. He pulls it out,
Exactly.
pulls it out, and you could just like hear Joel like, ah.
It was
I
bad.
know I'm gonna
Yeah.
be that parent.
Yeah.
100%.
En el nombre de
Crazy.
I think it was in there. It was like that much in there. Like I was just literally
Yeah.
walking, and it was like the swing of like the foot or something that just went
Yeah, just wedged it.
forced it in there. And I tried for like
Yeah.
2 hours, just like I can't get it out. It just
Yeah.
hurts too much.
Yeah. So the rake, how'd that happen?
I went into our garage. I don't know what I was looking for,
Stepped on a rake.
but I was wearing slippers, and it was on the floor. And yeah, it was like
Pokey side up.
about this big. It was like that. Yeah, the pokey side up. And I just feel something go through my foot, and I scream bloody murder. And I obviously, like out of adrenaline, like I pull my foot out, and I like hopped in like surprise, and I'm screaming like just out of like my mind. And my mom's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I'm like hysterical, like I just stepped on a rake and blah blah blah. And so take off my slipper, take off my sock, and there's a hole, like a huge hole. In
Did
my
it go through the
foot.
top?
Wow.
And it went through the
The bottom.
through the
But
bottom.
did it go up like through?
Yeah,
Or
it
no?
went up.
Into the talus.
And my mom is like, "Oh my God, that rake has been there forever. It's like rusty."
Rusty. Oh.
And
Tetanus
so
shot.
she has me sit down, and I don't even know what foot it was. I don't even remember.
You don't have a scar?
No, I don't have a scar.
Wow.
I need to check.
And
There's probably is
she
one.
got rubbing alcohol, and like Danny with Joel, Annie's
Nombre
just
de
watching.
Jesus.
She's just watching me scream and just kind of like, what the heck? And same thing. My mom says, en el nombre de Jesus, she pours the alcohol into the hole. I am like almost like, like
Fainting.
passing out. And I had to get a tetanus shot, obviously,
Yeah.
because of everything. And I hobbled to church, like literally for I don't know how long.
She's like, you're still going to
It
church.
was so embarrassing.
For real.
But I don't even,
Yeah.
I don't have a scar and I don't know what foot it was. But I will never forget that. Like,
Ugh.
Oh.
that was the only time I ever went really to the hospital for like an injury.
Yeah, foot injuries suck.
It was,
I stepped on a Lego one time, dude.
Wow.
those are brutal. Those are
Yeah.
brutal.
I
That's
remember
crazy.
one time we were playing basketball. We would always go play basketball on Mondays, and right before we were even playing a game or something, the ball went like going into like the trench. There's like a little trench right around where we would play, in between the park and the basketball court. And so I go get the ball and I come back, like I'm starting to walk back, and boom, like I like twist my ankle really, really bad. And I was so bummed because I didn't even get to play ball. Like I hurt myself before I even got to play.
That
You
was
were,
the most
you were
embarrassing.
worried more about the injury or the not being able to.
Well, yeah,
play
I couldn't
basketball
even walk.
than
I
anything
was, oh my gosh.
Did you
swelled
ever
up.
have any injuries?
I was trying to think while you guys talk. Nothing crazy. Well, I think like the craziest, like full on sprint, like a full on sprint into a tetherball pole.
Oh,
Like a full on
Oh,
sprint.
gosh.
And you just hear like ding. I think the whole thing literally shook. And I was just like on
that
the
poor
ground
tennis
and that's it. That's it. I literally
That poor
don't remember
tennis ball.
anything besides my mom's version is the school called her and was like, "Hi, you need to pick up your daughter. She had a head injury." So my mom's like, "Oh my God, she freaking something
Is it-
crazy, you know?"
Yeah.
Which, well, yeah, it was crazy. I had like the biggest like ball, yeah,
There. Oh,
literally like
God.
this. I don't know how long it was there for, but like my mom was like, I wanted to go to sleep so bad. Like, you know, she picked me
Oh,
up and I was just
no.
like, and she was like, "You can't go to sleep. You can't go to sleep." And she kept waking me up and I was just like, I don't even remember
I
to
actually
be honest.
don't know why.
I was gonna say that. Why
They
can't you?
say that. I don't know why.
You don't
Like
wake up.
maybe like if you have a concussion, you
There's
can't.
times you won't wake up.
Yeah, like you just.
Really?
Really?
I guess.
What happens when you go in a coma?
You're asleep.
No, you're
Well,
asleep,
you're.
huh?
You
Well,
might
yeah,
wake up.
Yeah,
but I
there's
guess that's the
people
point.
that-
You might fall into a coma,
There's
right?
people that don't wake up from comas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. I guess
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
So maybe you
Over
fall
there.
into a coma if you fall asleep with
Did
a
you have to-
concussion or something. I don't know.
Did you have to pay for the dented feather belt school?
But yeah, it was all because I was
property
playing.
damage.
I was playing tag with some
Public
girls
damage.
in what was it? Elementary school.
You
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, and I was just sprinting. I don't know how I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably
How
the
do
craziest.
you win at tetherball? How do you play tetherball?
It's got a
depends.
wrap around.
Well, it depends if you do ropies
One or the other.
or
There's different type.
yeah. Sometimes you do it by the rope, and some. Did you guys ever play
Oh,
I
tetherball?
where you
never
where you
knew
grab
how to
the
play with
you
it,
get
to be
grab it
honest.
from the rope and
Yeah, you
throw
grab
it.
it
Yeah, I
by the
played
rope
that.
or you throw it, or you just hit the ball.
Hit the ball.
Yeah. yeah.
I only knew about hitting the ball.
No, you could do
No,
it by.
no, no. My
by
favorite was
grabbing it.
ropies.
And is it just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like whoever spins it up? All the
Whoever
way?
spins
All the
it
way
up all
up.
the way, yeah.
Yeah.
But ropies,
And the other person's
yeah.
trying to stop it.
Ropies was wild because
Oh.
you'd be like LeBron and you'd put your hand in there and the rope would freaking wrap around your whole like
Oh
hand.
my gosh.
Yeah, crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ropies. That's pretty cool.
Ropies.
Peace.
Sounds like a disease. Got the ropies.
All right, I'll finish it off with one last story, and it involves Isaac. And so you guys know what egging people is, right?
Oh man, we've got a. I mean, I've got a bunch of those.
Yeah.
So me and Isaac were like, it's too standard. How about we get some donut holes? And he, at the time, you remember the Jeep?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This guy was really good at switching and like slowing down without hitting the brakes.
Wait.
Oh, he would put it in
There's a
neutral.
car
He
would put
involved.
it on
So
neu-
how old were you?
Old enough to.
I mean, Isaac was 18. I must have been like 17.
old
18.
enough to
Old
commit a
enough to-
felony.
So he was really good at slowing down the car without hitting the brakes and just dropping the gears and then slamming it so it spun out and we would leave. So at the time, they had removed all the doors and the roof from the Jeep. And he's like, he had a sock full of money, like a full of change. And so did I. And we are like, let's go see how many donut holes we can get. And I think we got like almost 200. And we went to Katie Donuts to actually purchase them.
Shout out Katie.
Shout out Katie.
Open 24 hours.
They are. Yeah, because it was late at night when we went. So there's just innocent bystanders, old people, young people, people that are just going for like walking their dog. And we just show up and there's like 4 of us. Isaac's driving the car, but there's like me and then like 2 other people. I won't say their names. And we have our donuts ready and we go and if you crush the donut like really, really hard, like the way you crush that bird, you could probably turn that thing into like
A rock.
almost.
Dead bird.
And you could throw it if you have good aim, you could throw it and you can hit people hard with it. So we would go and right when we were driving by, we would be take your seatbelt off and then just like distance from me to Tim and just hit him and then you just hear boom, we're gone. So quickly.
Dude, that would hurt.
That reminds
And,
me of
Just
Pitch
walking.
Perfect
We did
scene
that
where
a
she's
lot.
like, I got hit with a burrito. That's what you were doing to people.
We were doing that, but with donut holes.
Oh,
that would be
God.
burrito though.
So at the end,
Burritos
like,
would be sick.
at the end, we would get back home, back to your guys' house, and we'd just be covered with like sugar all over our hands. That was our getting caught red-handed was covered in sugar.
I did that with eggs though. Like we would do eggs.
Who's we?
Well, I won't.
Just him.
I won't just.
Just you
I
and
won't say it.
Some
But
kid
it was
named
just me.
Tom.
It was just me and a couple of my friends, and we would go egging. And so one time, I even thought about like, dang, this has to be crazy. One time, I threw an egg into a car that had a window down, like,
my.
and so it was parked. So I was just thinking like, dang, they wake up in the morning and go to work, and there's just an egg like in there, already yesterday. I don't like yeah,
It's already
but
cooked.
yeah, we would yeah. that was
In
great.
the previous podcast, there was a question of like, oh, is there anything that you've learned about your partner? I've learned a lot about today, about you and your past with Isaac.
We both influenced each other in bad ways. There was a reason why we were
good ways.
both the black sheep of our family.
Well,
Yeah, we got in trouble a lot. But all right, we hit the hour mark, so thanks everybody. Bye everybody.